All right, guys, you got to check this out. Tuttio Soleil 01. He has been dying to get one of these bikes ever since I reviewed the Tuttio ICT, and he finally got one. Now, I do want to mention that Tuttio did send this to us for testing and review. And if you guys are interested in picking up one of these bikes or one of their other ones, I'll leave a link down in the description with a coupon code that'll help you guys save a few bucks. And currently they have a pretty good Black Friday sale where this is like $1,100 and some with my coupon code, which is a pretty good price. And one thing that's crazy is he's been looking at these things for the past 6 months now or so on Facebook Marketplace, and people are still trying to sell these for $1,200 used, which is crazy because you can almost get a new one most of the time for that. But what's awesome about this one is it has a 2,000 watt mid-drive motor that's powered by a 70 amp far driver controller, which you can actually go in and tune in an app if you buy a $20 dongle online. I'll put a link down to the one we got below as well. And this bike will go about 37 miles per hour out of the box, but you could tune it to go a little bit faster. But this bike fits him perfectly. And the bike without the battery is right about 92 pounds, but that's with a little bit of mud on it. And the battery is about 15.5 pounds almost. So the bike with the battery is about 107 pounds, somewhere right around there. They say 105 on the website, close enough. And the seat height on this bike is about 28.5 inches right at the dip. And then at the taller parts, it's about 29.5 inches high. So 28.5 inches here. And this is with a 5'7.5" rider. It actually fits me pretty good. I was surprised. And this is with a 4'11", almost 5 foot person on it. Put your feet on the ground. He's flat-footed, knees are still a little bent, so fits on it good. It's great for adults like me and children up to a weight limit of 265 pounds on this little tiny beast. But these tires got some good grippy knobs on it, guys. He's ripping up my yard pretty good. I tried to get some B-roll before it got dirty, but he could not wait. It got a little bit dirty here. Has nice suspension on the rear. What I was impressed by right off the bat is these huge brakes here. It actually has a slide on it right here where the whole caliper slides back and forth like on a car, and I thought that was pretty cool. But we're going to show you some of the performance on this bike today, and there's already a tons of videos on this bike about features. It's been out for a while now. I'll just go over a couple real quick, and then we're going to show you the performance on this bike. And what's the #1 reason why you wanted this bike?
Because they're great to learn how to wheelie on and great suspension.
Yeah, he's going to be doing wheelies for days. But one of the main reasons why I'm so glad that he got this bike now is because I can't keep him inside the house now. It gets him off the computer screens and gets him out here enjoying life and having a good time like when I was a kid. So it has a keyed switch here, and when you turn it on, it has 3 modes. It has Eco, Tour, and Sport mode. If you hold this mode button down here, it also tells you the voltage of your battery, which is nice, along with a little battery diagram there, but the voltage is a little bit more accurate. It has some really nice DOT brakes on it, and those rotors on the front and the back are super thick, guys. They are really thick. And one thing I want to mention that I didn't know, when I first opened this up, it's packaged really well, encased in foam, which is really nice. I laid the bike down and put the front wheel on first just because I thought it was easier, and I didn't know that they had a little black plastic piece in this brake lever here that had it slightly pulled, so it was kind of hard for me to get the front wheel in there. So word of advice, take that little plastic piece out before you put the front wheel on. It'll be a lot easier. One other thing I noticed, the package that had the bolts in it for this upper handlebar, they seemed a little bit long, but there was 2 bolts inside the toolkit pouch that had shorter bolts that were silver. I replaced those bolts with them so that they don't stick out. They fit and work perfectly on this center cushion bar here. Now, like I said before, this bike has a 70 amp far driver controller, and it's powered with a 48 volt, 20.8 amp hour battery down in the frame here. Another thing that's awesome about these Tuttio Soleils is there's tons of upgrade kits already out there on the market because this bike's been around for quite a while and also has been super popular over the past year. So there's tons of mods that you can do to these bikes. Heck, he already has all kind of stuff picked out in his wish list for seat covers, battery wraps, grips, a new front fender. So he's going to be modding this thing out like crazy probably. But that is one thing I want to mention is the front fender is pretty flimsy and floppy on here. Would have been nice to see more of a traditional style motorcycle fender. The back one's the same way. It's pretty floppy. I mean, it does help some from getting a bunch of mud up on you, and these tires do kick it up pretty good. Them knobbies are pretty thick on them tires. Another nice thing I noticed is on the suspension, the linkage on here is really nice and tight on that shock. It doesn't move around like it did on the Happy Run when I reviewed it. The Happy Run had super smooth suspension. However, that rear bushing and that rear shock, as I mentioned towards the end of that video, it wore that bushing out within like the first 20 miles. This one seems like it's going to hold up a lot better than that one did. It has a nice hydraulic front suspension on it and a nice nitrogen-filled rear shock. One thing I noticed, it is on a softest setting, and when he's on the bike, he weighs somewhere around 75 pounds or so. When he's on the bike, he doesn't compress the suspension that much, so you do hear the chain rubbing on this chain guard just a little bit. However, when I'm on the bike, I'm about 175 pounds. When I'm on there, the bike is a lot quieter because when the bike's running, the chain's not rubbing on this guard. So keep that in mind. If you're buying this for your kid and he's around 75 pounds or so, you're probably going to hear that chain riding, and it's probably going to wear out that chain guide a little bit quicker than if you were a little bit of a heavier rider. Now, one thing I would have definitely liked to seen upgraded on this, and it's kind of hard for the price, but it would have been nice to see a charger a little bit bigger than 2.5 amps, because it does take about 8 hours to charge this thing fully up. I did see somewhere posted online that I think maybe they might be looking into faster chargers, but that would have been nice to see so that he could get out riding a little bit quicker. But overall, it's a perfect size little pit bike for young adults and some children. Make sure if you do buy this, make sure your kids wear their safety gear. 100% important, especially on this thing, because if they get one of these, they're gonna want to wheelie it. Trust me, he's been wheeling it all day yesterday, and like he said, that's one of the main reasons why he wanted this bike, is to wheelie around. Now, I have tons of other e-bikes and some other pretty powerful bikes, but none of them are as easy to wheelie as this one, especially for him. Now, they do have a few different versions of this bike. They have a new Glacier Blue one that is all blue. Now, that's basically the same bike. It has the same motor and everything, but it has a different non-slip seat. It's all blue, has different hand grips, and I'm not sure if the tuning's the same on it or not, because it does say it's rated for a higher wattage. But if any of you get the blue one, let us know down below how it compares to this one. And then they also have some other models. They upgrade them sometimes with some different colors. One style they had all black, another one they have with black front forks. So it is kind of nice that they keep updating this and keep making different models. Now, the sunlight's about to go down and he's dying to go have some more fun, so we're going to show you a little bit about how this thing performs with him and me on it, and he's going to go have some fun for the rest of the day. But I appreciate you guys watching, and if you have any questions about this bike or any specific details you want to know, put it down in the comments. I'll try to answer them. But without further ado, let's go have some fun. Put it in eco mode and just go down there and come back. All right, this is the slowest mode you can put it in, eco mode. That's eco mode, about 13 miles an hour.
Let's try tour.
Okay, putting it in tour mode. There's tour mode. And he says that was around 22 miles an hour. Now put it in sport mode. And you can still do wheelies in tour, and I think maybe eco too.
No,
Try it.
not eco.
No, not eco. All right. Is that tour? That's tour mode, and you can still do wheelies. Now this is going to be sport mode, and it's a lot faster. It'll do up to 37 miles per hour, but keep in mind he's in a grassy area here, and it's not exactly level here, so that's going to affect the speed. And I'm not quite sure it's long enough for him to get to the 37 miles an hour, but what'd you get it up to?
Got it up to 27 right here.
27 right here? All right, so 27 in this short distance, so pretty good. But overall, this is what he loves about it right here. That's what he loves. And that'll keep him out here for days learning how to do wheelies. Oh, that's a sweet one there. Holy cow. That was a good one. That was probably one of the best ones yet.
Yeah.
You're getting good.
Yeah. This bike's actually really easy to wheelie.
Yeah. So what do you like about it?
I like that it's very beginner friendly, that you can tune it with a $20 dongle, and it has moto brakes, which you don't see on a lot of bikes. Has very good torque with that giant sprocket in the rear, and a full twist throttle, which is really nice and snappy.
That's another thing we like about this bike too, is that the rear brake lever is actually on the left-hand side to control your rear brake. So when you're doing wheelies, it's a lot easier to control it. We actually disabled the sensor, and if you do that, do it at your own risk. But we disabled it to make it easier for him to control doing wheelies. But I hate when some of these higher powered motorcycle style bikes have the rear brake on the right-hand side with the throttle, because it's supposed to be on the left-hand side on motorcycles. And you can hear how that chain rubs that chain guide on the way by. That noise is that chain hitting the guide. But I'm gonna hop on it actually, let me put the microphone on him. Maybe you'll be able to hear the chain rubbing that guide, and then when I get on it, you'll hear that it got a lot quieter.
Hear that noise? That loud noise is the chain rubbing the chain guard. And since I'm not heavy enough to compress the suspension, my dad, which is a little bit heavier, weighs it down and it doesn't make the noise for him. But honestly, I like that sound because it actually sounds like a real dirt bike or a real motorcycle.
All right, now I'll get on it and show you. It's a little bit quieter with me on it because it doesn't make that rubbing sound. And I'll show you how it performs with a 170 pound rider or so. Plenty of power to pull that front wheel right off the ground. Actually easier than the ICT, to be honest, from a stock. This is 165 pounds, still rips with me on it. Did I just say 165? I meant 175 pounds. Woo. I'm not as good at wheelies as he is. That one was weak, but it still pops up easily with me on it. Woo. But this bike is pretty fun. I can see why he loves it. I wish they had these things when I was a kid. Super quiet like that, it would have bothered no neighbors. Hitting a little jump there, and I can see it already. He's going to want to take that kickstand off. Yep. So when you hit the jump, it flipped down. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about his wheelies, guys. I think he's getting pretty good. All right, I think we got the kickstand fixed. Put a little bungee ball on it to hold it up, and it doesn't flop down now. He was checking the tracking every day for the past couple days, wondering where it was at and when it was going to get here. I'm not as good as the professional. Try not to tear up the grass, but it ain't working too good. This thing rips it up.
Thanks for watching. There's a link down below if you want to purchase. Now the only thing I need is a light because it's getting dark.